If you've ever used an eraser on a page and had the page rip or crinkle up, wondered why some notepads and notebooks are so much easier to write in than others, it probably comes down to what makes a notepad actually good. This is Notepad A and this is Notepad B. Another thing that most people don't think about when buying a notepad is the trade-off is often the quality of the paper. It's so much thinner. It's probably going to be annoying from time to time. Hey friends, welcome back to the Planner Shop. I'm Sarah, and around here, we love paper. The Planner Shop creates planning tools for work and life. Our goal is to help you reach yours. Whether you're a student, a young professional, a business owner, or just someone who lives for crossing things off a to-do list, the right notepad can truly change the way you plan your day. But shopping for stationery online can be tricky. You can't flip through it, touch the paper, or test if your favorite pen bleeds through. And that's why I'm going to walk you through exactly how to spot a really good notepad, the kind that actually lasts and feels amazing to use. We're going to break it all down. How notepads are built, what makes paper feel luxurious. So I'm going to show you exactly what to look for the next time that you shop for stationery. Let's get into it. The first thing we're going to look at is the binding. Let's look at how ours is built. This is the Memo Notepad from the Signature Collection. Notepads can be bound in different ways by glue, tape, coils. Ours is what we call glue bound. But unlike some other glue-bound notepads, there's a perforated line here, which is essentially little holes that are put here so that you can easily rip the papers out. There's also a header here that covers the glue binding. Fun fact, this is actually embossed. So that's a nice little luxurious detail here. That means that the letters are raised. You can truly feel it when you do get your hands on it and kind of feel the letters here. So these are raised, kind of like how you'd see in Braille. It's raised bumps on paper. Well, this is like raised text on paper. And the same for the logo right here. Now, the qualities of your paper is very important. And if you've ever used an eraser on a page and had the page rip or crinkle up, or had your fountain pen bleed through onto the next page and ruin the next page of your notebook or your notepad, then you understand what I mean. You have a great, fantastic understanding of the importance of good quality paper and of the thickness of paper. And you probably already know to check the thickness of paper when you're doing your shopping online. So the weight of paper is usually expressed in either pounds or grams per meter square, GSM for short. What that means essentially is just how thick the paper is. Typically with notepads, what we see is anywhere between 50 and 100 GSM. Our paper is on the higher end at 100 grams per square meter. That's good quality ink resistant paper. And that's one thing that was really, really important for me when I was designing this product. Another element of paper stock is the brightness. So this, as you can see, is white paper. It's textured paper. It's uncoated as well. So it's really just that natural paper texture that we all know and love. Because the notepad is uncoated and textured, when you're writing with a ballpoint pen or a gel pen or even a fine liner, it grips the ink just right. It's also FSC certified, just like all of our paper is, which means that they were sourced responsibly. Our notepads contain 50 pages. I know what you may be thinking. Some notepads have a 100, but the trade-off is often the quality of the paper. Let's compare our Memo Notepad with a couple of generic notepads. This is Notepad A and this is Notepad B. Notepad A has 100 pages, which is twice the number of pages in the Memo Notepad. Notepad A is just as thick as the Memo Notepad. What that means is that although there are more pages in the notepad, the pages are much thinner. Ours is 100 GSM and theirs is likely 60, 50 GSM. Notepad B has 50 pages and it is a fraction of the thickness of the Memo Notepad. The paper is much thinner. I would say probably about 50 GSM, which is why you've got the same number of pages, but it's so much thinner. If you've ever wondered why some notepads and notebooks are so much easier to write in than others, it probably comes down to line spacing. We designed our large Memo Notepad with 8mm spacing, which is on the wider side. College ruled is about 7.1 millimeters, and the wider type of line spacing will be about 8.7. That is very wide. So this is really in that juste milieu. It's wide, it's spacious, but it's not too, it's really just perfect. A lot of notepads actually have an 8mm line spacing, so it's definitely not uncommon. Our layout is aligned on one side and blank on the other side. You've got line pages to write your notes, and then the blank side to doodle or make mind maps, sketch. The paper is thick. You can truly write on one side and then use the other side. There's also a margin. I've always thought that margins are just such a great tool to have. You'll notice that there's a margin on the large notepad and that the smaller notepad doesn't have a margin, and that is completely intentional. This is a smaller item, and the lack of margin allows you to maximize the space that you've got on here. I do think it would be really cool to have a smaller notepad just like this one with a margin on it. If that's something that you would love to see, then let me know in the comments. The large notepad also comes in a lighter taupe color. This taupe notepad actually has a matching margin. So the margin is taupe like the header. If you're really attentive, like really attentive, you're paying attention in class, you'll notice that we have the exact same feature in the black notepad as well. The margin here is a very dark black, just like the header. Another thing that most people don't think about when buying a notepad is the backing board. The backboard is that brown cardboard that we see at the back of a notepad. So if you're someone who appreciates functionality, versatility, and tools that are just great for when you're on the go, you are going to appreciate this detail. Have you ever tried to write something on a notepad or piece of paper and you have to find a book or a table or some kind of hard surface to write on? When you're using a notepad, the backing board is what could potentially remove the need to have a hard surface behind the pages that you're trying to use to write on. Now, let's compare with a few other notepads. When looking at Notepad A and Notepad B, the backing board is really thin. I can easily bend them even together and unbend them. When you look at these, it doesn't bend very easily. If you bend it, you pretty much break it. All of our notepads have the same thick backboard. The backboard in this notepad is incredibly thick and sturdy. You don't have to worry about having a surface when you're using your notepad. You can write when you're in the car, when you're on the bus, or when you're just grabbing coffee with someone and you quickly need to pull out a notepad and take some notes. I can fold my leg and just write my notes. If you're someone who writes notes just like this from time to time, on your lap or as you're walking around. I know that for me, when I was a student at internships, I'd always like to have a notepad in my purse to write notes. I definitely could have used something like this where you don't really need to think twice. When you have a very good thick backing board, you're not going to think twice about it. When you have really thin backing board, lesser quality, it's probably going to be annoying from time to time. These are really some of the aspects that you really want to think about when you are shopping for a notepad. All right, friend, now you know way more about notepads than you probably thought you would today. But hopefully you're walking away knowing exactly what to look for the next time that you shop for stationery. And if you'd like to try ours, you know exactly where to find us. If you learned something new, give this video a like, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what do you look for in a notepad? See you in the next one.